truth is that you either are here to enlighten or discourage.
Words is powerful, you know, and I think that the ability to articulate, you know, you can really impact people, you know, with words.
The inner reality creates the outer form.
If you can see it in your head, if you can picture it, if it's clear, you know what I'm saying, then it is a possibility. If you believe in it, it's already happened. You just haven't gotten there yet. So, you have to learn how to recognize things, you know what I'm saying? And you just have to know what road to take to get to your final destination. Because a thought, just a thought form can manifest itself into physical form, you know? So it's all about believing in yourself, believing in what you do, being able to see it, knowing how to get there, living it, and trust me, it'll happen. Ask and ye shall receive. That is a very true thing. You know?
Interview years ago when I first came in the game, and I said, I'm gonna get that girl. You know what I mean? And
Damn.
So,
And then how long from there?
that was probably like 09.
Hey, man,
wow.
so whatever
like,
plans you have, you know exactly like
I
what
stick to the script, man.
Yeah, man.
Get it?
Nah, but that one thing I noticed about myself when I like, I think, you know, thoughts is powerful in all facets. Because even my career, even my life, you know, things end up turning out exactly how I visualized them. Not in this time frame I expected. You know what I'm saying? You always want shit to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I just had clear visions. You know, obviously outside of my girl, I just mean in music and hustling and just how I viewed myself as an adult when I was a young dude coming up. And your thoughts powerful. That shit, you know, come to life if you stick to your script, man.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
In life, you get what you sincerely think, believe, and feel you deserve. If you feel like you deserve that new church, that property, you'll get it. If way down in your gut, you are convinced, it is your conviction that God wants you to have it, nothing can keep it from you.
Well, you see, I do think we have a choice in what our lives are going to be like. You see?
We don't have a chance about what's going to hit us when we don't.
Okay,
know.
let me tell you this. My impression, I have a certain, I guess, positiveness about my life, but I realize that every time I create a positive thought in my mind, also I create a negative thought. It's just like, I'm going to be very successful. My mind says, oh, no, you're not, you know? Okay, so since I create positive and negative, it's which one I give the most attention that is powerful. When I think positive constantly, it's very powerful and it controls me. If I think negative all the time, it's going to control me too. So right now, my positive thought is there is going to be no disaster to destroy what I have planned for me and my family. And if there is, that's life, you know? And I can accept what I get. My intention is for it to work and to be successful, and I will accept what I get. See, I don't have any choice about what my life is going to be like. The only choice I possibly might have is how I'm going to react to it. You know, and I mentioned to someone the other day that if you've heard that the poem "If," you know, they said something about success and failure. If you treat those two imposters the same, well, that's my plan. You know, I get very emotional when I start. That's my plan. If I'm successful, I want to treat it like I'm successful. And if I'm unsuccessful, I want to treat it the same way. I really do, and that's my plan. I'm getting shook because I feel really emotional about that.
Because everything you say, if you're living your own life, if you are who you are and you know who you are and you live working towards realizing your mission in life, every sound of it out of your mouth is a prayer. Every gesture you make is a prayer. Every dance you dance is a prayer. And when you make love with somebody, you are praying. If you know who you are and this person knows who they are. Oshun teaches us. Love, you know what love is? Are you sitting well? Because I know you all been looking at all this television and this movie and reading all these fine romance novels. Love is knowing your weaknesses, your strength. The weaknesses and strength of your partners, the weaknesses and strength of your enemies. That is love according to Oshun. That is equilibrium. When there is love, there can never be love when there is no knowledge. Ignorant can't love nothing, not even themselves. Knowledge is the first step to love. I know this brother. I know what he can do. I know his spirit. I love the brother. Yes. And because I love him, and he knows me, he loves me, we can make a plan together. I don't have to become your wife. You love me, I love you. There's something we can do together. I love you, you love me. We're gonna do something that's gonna benefit the whole. That's when I love you. Good is what benefits the collective. The individual exists to contribute to the collective.
I think in relationship, it's really important in the beginning, if you set an intention, what is our union, how is our union going to participate with everyone else? How are we going to contribute? How does our union contribute to people outside of us, not just us? You know, not just between, you know, oh, you love me, you give me pleasure. It has to be deeper than that, or it kind of fades away. So I think we were very intentional on like how us together, how does that contribute to our community? We were always talking about how we could have a better relationship with God individually, and our purpose and our missions in life, and, you know, how we just wanted to be on purpose.
It's important to maintain your purpose and understand why you are here. And there's certain things that happen in life that could take you away from your purpose. Bro. And, you know, if I were to, you know, responded or reacted towards a lot of the things that have happened to me in my journey, I would not be here.
Yeah.
I would not.
I feel good about what I'm waking up doing and about my lifestyle. At one point, I wasn't proud of my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't content with what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. I wasn't happy with that. So it was eating at me. Even though I'd be on the surface, cool and straight, deep down I knew that this wasn't the direction of what I need to be doing. Now I wake up with the feeling that I'm going in the direction that I'm here for. Like what I'm on this planet for, I'm doing it. Right. Bigger than just the LA, bigger than some gang banging, bigger than some street shit, just some human shit. I'm doing what I'm here to do, I feel like. So it feel good, and you know, I got a lot of confidence, I got a lot of confirmation from my hard work that is going in the right direction, that I'm doing something.
I always knew that I would be successful. It was never a question of whether or not I would be successful. It was just a matter of time. I think if you're born with the feeling that you're special. I know that sounds, and this isn't bold or anything. Yeah, I mean, you really have a feeling that you are here for something, and some people don't have that feeling. And when you have that feeling, you know, and it's a matter of just pacing yourself and learning as much as you can learn until the time comes when you're out there. And it was too early as far as I was concerned. I'm not ready yet.
You really do love something from your heart. You really do enjoy it. And I really love my life. I have good friends, good family. I wake up every day and I work doing something I love. So there's nothing better than that. I truly am happy. I cannot complain at all. That would totally be ungrateful.
Education is the most important thing, because like I said, you can find a way of communicating, and you can break through all barriers once you have that education. But go for what you really love, not because the money is more important than anything else in the world. Because if you go for what you really love and what you really want to do, you'll do a better job at it. And money will always come and make you comfortable if you love what you do.
That's the best thing to know. And if you go to college and you're educated and you know all the theories and you know all of the answers, that's one thing. But when you know who you are, that's the beginning of wisdom.
But you know me being blind, I didn't pay no mind. no good if you're not aware, even if you're positive. You can be emulating something positive. That's no good. It's good when you're aware. I'm aware that I'm bad. I'm aware that I'm happy. I'm aware that I'm sad. I'm aware that I'm, old. I'm aware that I'm new. When you're aware, that's good. That can take you everywhere.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not. We decide if the trees can grow tall. We decide if the children will eat. We are very powerful beings on the planet Earth. And when I said a self-made God, I meant just what I said. People tend to play down our power. Well, don't worry about it. This next guy do it unless there's God above to do it. There's a lot of things that has to change on this planet Earth that only we can change.
I woke up and said, I can't take this anymore. I can't take it anymore. I gotta find me. So that's what I have been searching for. And now that I have found me, the same me that I used to, that I remembered from being a child, I feel a sense of peace, and I like the way it feels. I am a person who is still searching for who I am. Along my search, I know that there are a lot of things that I would like to fulfill. One of those things are to definitely improve the quality of life in my life and the lives of others.
I think, that the only way to live is know you're going to die. If you're afraid to die, you'll never be able to live.
Hey, hey.
Hey. And nobody knows anything about that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And that is also just another word.
Singing the blues. That is
we don't know
word.
anything about
Right.
it.
Right.
When I go, I'll go. And where I'm going, I don't know. It might be, beautiful. It might be nothing. It might be, I think it's a cycle.
I do.
I agree. I trust my ancestors.
Because those of us who have come through the years, we begin to realize, I think all of us do, at a certain stage of our lives, what life has really meant to us and the value of that life. And if we didn't do that, we're absolutely out of our minds. And particularly when we get to an age like 70-something, darling, life has just begun. I'm having more fun now. I don't have a man in my life. It's not that kind of... but it's not that kind of thinking that I'm thinking about. It's the real value of life that you greatly appreciate. And the fact that I could have lived in any country in the world, but this one is the one that I chose to live in and live out the rest of my years in. Life is not problematical. We make it problematical because we're all listening to something, to someone else, to something, without listening to ourselves. We buy a lot of junk, for instance, that we know damn well we don't need. We clutter up our lives with insignificant things that have no value at all. But when we start to think about how simple life is and how simple it should be lived, then we begin to realize, I have no problem. I don't have a real problem. Problem is something you make. Life is something you live.
You have to start with yourself and accept the circumstances of your life and accept them as your own. Accept them as your own creation. Accept them as your own karma. Accept them as your own truth, as your own work that you are given to do in this lifetime, and deal with it from there. And start with yourself. Start by taking time with yourself to just sit quietly in a day. To just be still and not let all the concepts and all the ideas and all the mental constructs wear you down. I would teach my daughter to look within herself first, before career projections, before accepting ideologies and theories and philosophies of near and distant traditions, I would tell her to look within herself to discover her own truth and to live in the experience of constant awareness of that truth within.
Life is to be enjoyed. And this work is fun, but as you guys know, it's very emotionally taxing and energetically draining. And if you don't have boundaries, you could be worn low. I feel like we're at a time right now where success is changing. It's interesting because I grew up in a very similar situation where my father was the provider, and that's all he really knew how to do.
Yeah.
And both of my parents worked a lot, and so I grew up with the notion that working, being booked and busy was success. And I know you guys can relate, just wearing yourself out in that way, I feel like is not sustainable. And so now I'm reprogramming and redefining what success means to me. And to me, it's about balance.
But I had beautiful words to say what success is. And a peasant, about 72 years old, said, success, that's not that. I said, what do you mean? I mean, I went to school. I should know. I read in big dictionaries. He said, that's not success, sister. What you're describing here is applaud for a particular achievement. That is not success. Success is being who you are in such a complete and stable way that you become the foundation upon which the next generation will feel secure. Success is not what you do. Success is who you are. If you live your life as who you are and who you ought to be, nobody needs to know you. You are a very successful person.
Healing after healing after healing after healing. So it's almost like we're plants. We got to continue to nurture ourselves and heal. Break off the bad leaves so new ones will come. The healing process. These are the steps that brothers and sisters that I would urge you to take in the healing process. Number one, identify the wound. The hurt. Identify the hurt, pain. Sometimes it's relationship-based, sometimes it's job-related, sometimes it's money-related. It's just different things. Whatever it is that's hurting you, what you can do, it's not going to go away because it's going to get harder and harder and harder all the time. Either we can choose to numb the pain, come back to the same stressful situation every time, or we can go ahead and get involved in the business of healing. Number two is to begin to cleanse your body. And how I would suggest to do that is drinking plenty of water, because we are on the planet water. And begin to start that praying, because we do get off our path and we sometimes get so far away from the Most High that we think we don't even remember the Most High. Even me, all the time. It's like a cycle. And when you feel yourself getting off that cycle, when you need the healing, the water, the prayer, you have to start fasting. That's the third thing you have to do. The fasting is what kind of it helps you assess your mind to get at a balanced state. That's right. And when you're concentrating on being hungry all day versus being right and exact, everything else becomes very.
Well, you're your own healer. You might not need to. Everyone. The path to it is all different. As long as you get to the end of it, you know what I mean? You might not need to do all that or have to do all that to find that healer within yourself. I needed guidance, heavy guidance. And just that, healing is such a up and down experience. It's not just shoo, and then I'm gonna become a fairy godmother and fly away.
Right. I'm healed. I'm fine.
No.
And then forever you're healed and fine.
No, I don't know if that's for anyone. Yeah. I've just learned that it does go up and down, and sometimes the the shadow work is like that to me. Shadow work is really.
What is that?
So it's just like digging deep into your ego self and why you either have envy or why you have a feeling to compare yourself to others, or why do you feel, depression. So digging into that shadow work, that dark side of your other self. One of the greatest things I've learned that I'm still learning is that like food really helps with depression.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm an emotional eater, so my weight fluctuates. So like I get sad and want to eat a Twix or like pizza and stuff like that. But it would make me more depressed. But then I learned that when I ate like higher vibrational foods, I wasn't so down. I wasn't so deep in my depression. So that's one of the things that I'm still trying to apply.
High vibrational means you're doing your work actively, you're aware, you're taking accountability, you're not on the fuck shit, you're not gaslighting, mature. We like that. Well, I think anxiety is lack of faith, lack of trust. Intuition is a deep knowing, an instinctive knowing. I don't want to discourage people from seeking therapeutic outlets or discourage people if they feel like they need medication, but I want to encourage people to explore spiritually themselves before running to these outlets.
Spirituality, nobody can teach it to you. You need to get the fundamentals of any books, any spiritual system. You can get the fundamentals and then look at inside of you and then determine how you are going to use the fundamental principles to improve your life. But nobody can tell you, you must pray every Friday, you must do this every Saturday, you must do that every Sunday. No, because what is good for you is not necessarily what I need. You may need to go into yourself and meditate 100 times a day. And even the same person will not need it the same way all the time. You in certain circumstances, you need to be meditating and finding all your forces, gathering all your forces continuously certain days. And then other days you may not even think about it. It doesn't mean you don't pray.
If you're a deeply spiritual person, you have to find your tribe. You know what I'm saying? You got to find people that you could connect with on that level. They might not be your friends. They might not be your family. It might be somebody on the internet. You know what I mean? It might be somebody you meet on a forum or whatever. But it's very important to have peers. It's very important because the spiritual arena is so massive. And you can easily get submerged, lost, lose yourself. You know what I mean? So you gotta have some type of guidance. You gotta have some type of peers who could keep you afloat. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing you don't want to do is venture off too far into the waters of spirit where you drown. You become submerged into it. It's like, nobody could relate to you. That's a scary place to be. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you gotta have those people around you who's gonna keep you grounded. Because that's what it is. It's like a hot air balloon, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the more you fill yourself with certain knowledge, it's like you get lighter and lighter and you start floating, you start flowing. But you got to have those people who could bring you down every now and again. Abundance is such a powerful word because abundance is something that we all have. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it could be measured differently, but we all have abundance. You know what I'm saying? We have the abundance of life every day. From the moment that we wake up and we're able to breathe, we're able to walk, we're able to, you know what I'm saying, see, we're able to hear. Like, these things are abundance. You know what I mean? Once you can accept that on a day-to-day basis, it's like life kind of starts to open up for you. It's like, yeah, you might not have the most money, but you're abundant. Both of you guys are abundant in some area more than me. You know what I mean? And it's like, whatever that area is, it doesn't even matter. The fact is that we are plentiful. You know what I'm saying? And that's the right foot to step on once you walk out of bed. It's giving thanks for the fact that you have options. You know what I'm saying? You could pick this job or you could pick that job. You could go left or you could go right. You know what I'm saying? That alone is such a great gift. know what I mean? And once I started to accept that, it was like, wow, like I reprogrammed my whole subconscious.
I'm not worried. I mean, because I guess you get back what you put in the universe, and I put beautiful things into the universe. So I just, I just hope to get beautiful things back.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. And the prize is the soul. So, just be careful. Very careful.